A storm is gathering over the Middle East, and the clock is ticking. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe, like, and turn on notifications so you never miss the geopolitical flashpoints shaping our world. Tonight's story: a hard deadline, rising military deployments, and renewed fears of escalation between Washington and Tehran. United States President Donald Trump has announced a 10-day window for Iran to reach a new nuclear agreement with Washington, signaling that failure to do so could prompt what he described as decisive consequences. His remarks were delivered during the inaugural session of his Gaza Board of Peace, where he addressed the broader security dynamics of the region. Trump characterized the ongoing discussions with Tehran as productive, yet acknowledged the long-standing complexity of nuclear negotiations with the Islamic Republic. He reiterated Washington's position that Iran must not obtain a nuclear weapon and stressed that the coming days would determine whether diplomacy prevails. Within about 10 days, Trump stated, we'll know whether a meaningful agreement is possible. He added that absent such a deal, developments could take a darker turn. The warning follows recent talks in Geneva, facilitated by Omani intermediaries. Both delegations described the discussions as constructive, though neither side reported a substantive breakthrough. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi reaffirmed Tehran's position that uranium enrichment for civilian purposes constitutes a sovereign and legally protected right. He described that right as inherent and non-negotiable, underscoring Iran's refusal to accept demands for zero enrichment. While diplomatic channels remain open, the divergence between Washington's insistence on strict limitations and Tehran's assertion of sovereign nuclear rights continues to define the impasse. As negotiations unfold, the United States has significantly reinforced its military presence in the Middle East. According to multiple reports, 2 aircraft carrier strike groups, long-range bombers, and more than a dozen naval destroyers have been repositioned in the region. The scale of this deployment has drawn comparisons to the military buildup preceding the 2003 invasion of Iraq, marking one of the most substantial force concentrations in the area in over 2 decades. Reports from American media outlets indicate that President Trump has been briefed on operational readiness options, including potential strikes targeting Iranian leadership structures or critical nuclear and missile infrastructure. These options remain under consideration as diplomatic efforts proceed. Tensions are heightened by the memory of the 12-day aerial conflict between Israel and Iran in June 2025. During that confrontation, the United States launched strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. Tehran subsequently declared that the attacks would not derail its nuclear ambitions. Iranian officials have maintained that their nuclear program remains strictly peaceful and civilian in nature, while reiterating that they will not capitulate to demands eliminating uranium enrichment entirely. The episode deepened mistrust and introduced new volatility into an already fragile regional equation. Russia has also weighed in on the escalating rhetoric. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov accused Washington of playing with fire, cautioning that strikes on nuclear infrastructure could risk catastrophic consequences. In a televised interview with Al Arabiya, Lavrov reiterated Moscow's support for Iran's right to pursue peaceful nuclear energy under international law. He argued that current tensions can be traced in part to Washington's withdrawal from the 2015 nuclear accord during Trump's first term in office. Russia's position adds another dimension to the unfolding standoff, reflecting broader geopolitical rivalries intertwined with the nuclear issue. The coming days may prove pivotal. On one side stands a United States administration emphasizing urgency and warning of swift consequences. On the other stands Iran, steadfast in its assertion of sovereign rights and resistant to what it views as external pressure. Between them lies a region already strained by conflict, shifting alliances, and competing spheres of influence. With military assets repositioned, diplomatic envoys engaged, and global powers watching closely, the next 10 days could shape the trajectory of Middle Eastern security for years to come. Will negotiation yield compromise? Or will the impasse harden into confrontation? Stay informed as this story develops. If you found this analysis compelling, remember to subscribe, like, and share so you remain at the forefront of global events as they unfold.